Good morning, everyone. Myself, Monica Nancy Priya, in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, working as an assistant professor. In this semester, I'm handling the subject code WE3017, Embedded C Programming in the regulation of 2021. Before we go into arrays, let me ask you something simple. Suppose I ask you to store the marks of 60 students. Will you write 60 different variables like mark 1, 2, 3, and so on? Is it possible? Is it practical? Definitely not. Okay, that's where arrays come into the picture. Then, what is an array? What is the introduction of array? Think of an array as a single box that can hold many related values. All those values must be of same type, like all integers of all floats. Instead of writing many variable names, we give one name and store everything inside it in an ordered manner. I usually tell what is an array is. An array is like a row of lockers. Each locker stores one value and each locker has a number on it. Okay. So next, why do we need arrays? Why we are using arrays? Without arrays, programs become very long and confusing. Imagine checking or updating values one by one. It is tiring and error prone. With arrays, we can use loops. That's the biggest advantage in the arrays. Once loops come in, our work becomes simple, clean, and professional. That's why arrays are used everywhere, from small programs to big software systems. What are the basic concepts of array? Inside the computer, we can array values are stored next to each other, not randomly. It was stored next to each other. One is A0, A1, A2, that's what. This continuous storage is very important. Because of this, the computer can quickly jump to any value without any delay. Each value has a position number called an index. This index is how we communicate with the array and tell the program which value we want. Then we are going to explain about the array diagram. Now look at the diagram. You will notice something important. The counting starts from 0 to From 0 only, we have to count, not 1. This is very important in C and embedded system. So if the array size is 5, the index will go from 0 to 4. So that here the array size is 5. We are having 5 values, but the index is from 0 to 4. Many students make mistakes here and try to access the index 5, which does not exist. That causes the error. I always say array size is n, last index is n minus 1. So we have to start with 0, 1, 2, 3. Remember this and you will never go wrong. Okay. Next is the array diagram. When we declare an array, we are telling the system three things. What are the major important thing? What type of data we are storing? What type of data? This is one. This data type. What type of data we are storing? What name we are giving to the array? Next is array name. What name we are giving? And next one is how many values you can hold it. This in the square bracket. No, this is so these three important things you have to keep in mind. First one is what data, type of data you can have, and the next what are the names of it, and the third one is how many values it can hold. Once the size is decided, it cannot be changed. So we must think carefully before declaring the size. Next one is array initialization. Initialization simply means putting values into the array. We can do it immediately or later in the program. One thing to remember is the number of values should not exceed the declared size. If you declared a size of an array is 5 and try to store 6 values, the problem will misbehave. So how we can initiate means that size only you can manage it and the values must match the array size. Next is accessing the array elements. To get a value from an array, we don't use the array name alone. We use the array name along with the index number. That is the major thing. Once you have to use the array name, you don't use the array name. We use the name along with the index number. If you use the wrong index, especially a negative index or a value beyond the limit, it leads to runtime errors. See, these are dangerous because the compiler may not warn you. So we have more conscious about that type of the size, what are the data type, and what is the array size you have to initialize. Next one is one dimensional and two dimensional. What does mean by one dimensional? One dimensional arrays are like a straight line. It is very simple and very commonly used. For example, storing marks or temperatures. And the second one is two-dimensional array. It is like a table. What the table having? We're having a rows and columns. No, think of a classroom mark sheets where rows are students and columns are the subjects. That's where 2D arrays, that is two-dimensional arrays, are useful. Next one is the memory representation. Because array elements are stored continuously in a memory, accessing them is fast. This is why arrays are preferred in performance critical programs like embedded systems, so that we are using the arrays in the embedded system programs. Next one is the advantages of arrays. This is easier one. Arrays make a program shorter, faster, and easier. We explained previous slides, no? So that it is easy for sorting and searching. We are easy to sort with the number of, because it jumps one number of arrays into the next number. So it is easy for sorting, searching, and data processing become very efficient when arrays are used. Then the limitation of arrays. What are the limitation means? But arrays are not perfect. Their size is fixed. If we are changing the sizes now, the compiler will give a problem. The compiler will not notice that. The system will misbehave. So that this is the main limitation of array. Arrays are not perfect. Their size is fixed. They can store only one type of data only. So also adding or removing element is in between is difficult. If we are initialize six data, we have to give six datas only. If it was added in the middle of the one, this is not possible in the array. That's why later we learn other data structures. Next one is a real life example. What is the real life examples of arrays? You already use arrays in daily life without knowing it. Like storing monthly expenses, daily temperatures, exam marks. In programming, arrays are used in algorithms, data analysis, embedded systems, even image processing also. Okay, so these are the applications. That's a sorting algorithms, searching algorithms, data analysis. Because these are the applications of arrays. To summarize, arrays are one of the most important foundation in programming. If you understand arrays clearly, learning advanced topic becomes much easier. In embedded C, especially arrays are unavoidable. So make sure you practice writing array programs regularly. These are the topics we have discussed about the what are the types of array, what are the dimensional of arrays, and what is the array initialization. Now, all the things, what are the advantages, disadvantages, we have discussed all the things about the arrays, and these are the references. See you on the next video. Thank you.